beaming on my face. I need the shadows no more.
Son. That's right. Late LK at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing you that street geek and nerd. So what is up, my people? Today all year, coming with another wonderful episode of You Best Believe It. I ain't telling no lies. Beast Vibes Life. We are here. I want to give a big shout out before we get started. PL Parker Lewis. He ain't here right now. He's handling business, but help the bears in the stores. You know what I'm saying? Go on, buy it, purchase it, put it in your headphones. All right, but down to the bottom square. You know what I'm saying? Holding down the square. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it real. Teaching y'all how to fleece. All right? Anwar Highsign.
Yeah, man. It's been one of those days, so I'm making food. If you don't like it, rumble me, punk.
You know what I'm saying? That's right. Beast Vibes Life also has cooking tips. Don't sleep. All right? Next up,
That's
right over here, ARC, Father Part 3. What's up?
It is me, ARCKATRON.com. That's where you can find my stuff. And find my stuff by meaning my music and everything in between the music and this show. So you can find that there too. Beats Vibes Life, we here. Shout out to Parker PL Lewis, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't miss this one, you know what I mean? It's a good one. We're
going to
hold it down. We're going to hold it down.
Feeling it.
Word up,
Parker Lewis,
so,
NERDSoul light.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? He holding it down. So today we just laid back, chilling. We had a Verzuz battle yesterday, or kind of battle showcase, if you will, between two of my favorite MCs
if you will,
yes, of all time. Yep, that's
Ja
Method
Rule
Man.
and 50 Cent.
Ja Rule 50 Cent.
Between 50 Cent and Tony Yayo.
And Rule.
Tony Yayo, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
All right. So Method Man and Redman, which you guys already know. I was excited to hear that it was gonna happen. I'm gonna throw it off. I guess initial reactions after you finish watching it or listening to it. Anwar Highsign, how you feel about it?
I have no initial feelings because I never got to finish it. I didn't get to watch it today. Last night when I was watching it, the feed was going haywire, and I just eventually gave up on it and said I'll catch a replay, but I haven't gotten to do that yet. But I did get to check out some of it, and it was one of the best verses. What I saw, it was one of the best verses in terms of presentation and energy and how it was flowing and put together.
The channel?
Yeah, they can subscribe to the channel. That's right. So
hey yo, let's go.
Yo, he be knowing.
Subscribe to the channel, punk.
So what is it? I saw it on IG. I was watching the desktop version of Instagram. Luckily for me, I didn't have any crazy issues. I did have to leave out early because just this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? I can't listen to it the whole time. But I caught the rest of it earlier today, and you know what I'm saying? It was nice to finish it through. But before I give my full thoughts, ARC, how you feeling about the Verzuz?
I thought it was good. I watched the whole thing. I caught a bit of it yesterday live, like 45-minute mark. And maybe got like a half hour of it. So I did catch some of it live when it was up. And then the rest of it I watched today. And I thought it was good, man. It was I think it was thorough, like in terms of they brought out some joints I forgot about. So I was like, ooh, okay. And they brought out people that was dope. They brought out a bunch of people, from both crews, and DJ Cool and EPMD, obviously the whole
Hit
Squad, right? Yeah.
Yep. Def Squad, Hit Squad.
Def Squad, Hit Squad, the whole squads. So it was dope.
Word. So I guess I like what I guess I'll say I like what kind of Versus has turned into. Like at first, it was cool to see kind of people battle back and forth, but I also like this kind of energy around kind of just celebrating the catalog that you've put out. You know what I'm saying, or that your opponent has put out. Now, in this case, this was essentially a Method Red show.
Pretty much.
But the Ghost and Ray joint
Yeah,
was
that was pretty cool.
basically a situation where it was like throwing love to you and then throwing love, back to Ghostface, or back and forth. So that's something that I thought was cool. There's nothing wrong with a Method Red show, from my opinion. So I'd love to see more situations like this with artists that might have intertwined, say more than like 2-3 times, something like that. That could be cool. And
I think there's one we said on the show that we wanted. And I said it to Khadijah yesterday. Timbaland and Missy. That would be a dope versus for like that would be dope. I think we said it on the show.
We
but
need
I
that.
don't remember. I think we did. Maybe.
Yep.
That would be a dope versus.
And especially when you have all these special guests. How did you feel about the special guests on the show? I mean, just throwing it out to the panelists. How did either of you guys feel?
I thought it was dope to see them do.
I didn't get to see any of them.
Oh. All right. Well, they had DJ Cool came out.
I saw not one of them before my.
Who else? You had Deck Squad and Hit Squad. Then you had Deck and Capadonna.
RZA. Deck and RZA.
Oh, RZA came through? I thought
Oh
that was
no, I
Capadonna.
did see Deck part a little piece of Deck. RZA.
Oh,
I saw
RZA was there. I didn't know that.
Too.
Because there's part of it where I was just listening, and the part where I was watching.
Oh, he announced
RZA
something
come
too.
out
Y'all didn't get that announcement?
Well, I got the announcement of Money
That's
Waters
the part
2
that I saw
and
with RZA.
Blackout 3.
No, RZA's announcement.
Nah, what are you saying?
He announced that
RZA announced an album
with DJ Scratch.
I'm gonna let you lay that one down.
Yeah, an album with DJ
RZA
Scratch.
produced by DJ Scratch.
Huh.
A whole album, a full entire project. Which I believe, I'm not sure if it's a Bobby Digital record or if it's RZA and Scratch, but like RZA released a Bobby Digital single today.
Oh,
and it sounded like the bass line sounded, like the bass line and the way it was put together, it sounded like a RZA beat with DJ Scratch's sounds. It's kind of like, I didn't know who, it doesn't say who produced it.
You should have hit the chat message with that, man.
Even though they
y'all don't care. Y'all don't be caring about what I'm posting in the chat.
I do be caring. What are you talking about?
I'll be posting, y'all. Hey, don't listen to them, y'all. I'll be posting stuff in the chat and it'd be straight crickets. And then I'll be like, yo, I posted in the chat and it was straight crickets. Everybody gets crickets in the chat. So I was just like, nobody want to hear about no Bobby Digital. I'm the only one who would want to. Who cares, really?
I don't believe that.
So I just didn't. But I don't.
I mean, when he goes Bobby Digital, he gets closer to that name, that other name. So
you know what I'm saying?
If you listen to it, Arcka, like you'll know exactly what I mean. Like it's a DJ. It's DJ Scratch's bass on that joint, and I was confused as to who. But it's RZA's bounce.
Maybe he co-produced it. Maybe they're co-producing it.
It's
that's something interesting. I
don't know, man. He said produced by Scratch.
Maybe they produced it together.
So Scratch might have produced a RZA.
What if he mixed it? What if RZA mixed it?
He might have.
What if RZA mixed it?
I mean,
What do you mean, like Scratch beats, but RZA mixed it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe RZA, just. I mean, still them together would be an interesting pairing.
I'm saying it'd be dope.
But if it's gonna be, I don't want I don't want Scratch making RZA beats. I want Scratch making Scratch beats and RZA doing RZA raps on the Scratch beats.
Okay.
It's the same issue with Rock Marcy. They all just make Rock Marcy beats. I want to hear Rock Marcy beats from Rock Marcy. I want to hear you do what you do that makes me excited, and then Rock Marcy approach what you do, what he does. And you know what I mean? So that's what I would want out of a RZA Scratch project. So it's like, here's like my imitation of RZA. I don't know.
All right, cool. So, you know, I'm thinking about that. All right, I feel where you're going with the, you know, you want to hear Scratch beats and RZA on Scratch beats. Is there a world where you're interested in a fusion sound of RZA and Scratch? Tell the American people. Oh, hold up. Anwar's stuck. Is he stuck? He's stuck. Oh man, we gotta bring him back in. He's like, yo, he's stuck. All right, word up. Now we got the stuck.
Yo.
Now we got the stuck Anwar, and we got the real Anwar. Word up.
We got the two. Oh wait, he left. Oh,
two for
not 5, not 4, not 3, but 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
You
You
got you.
know what I'm saying?
Check it. Yo.
You was in the basement for a second, but you back.
We got you, son. We rolling, kid. We rolling.
So, all right. Mr.
I was on the pirate radio for a second.
Sir. Mr. Highsign, I would like to ask you. I heard where you say you want to hear RZA over Scratch beats. Is there a world where you're interested in RZA Scratch fusion? You know what I'm saying? Would you be interested in that? The American people would like to know.
Them producing together?
Yeah,
them
like
producing
like RZA doing
together?
all the rapping, but them like coagulating on the beats.
Not particularly.
No. See, I would be interested.
RZA makes beats and Scratch makes beats. Why can't I just have the Scratch beats with RZA raps? And why do they need to produce it together? Scratch is very capable.
I don't think the fusion question means that he's not capable. It's more of
I'm not saying it does. I'm saying like what he does very well. So like that's a different chamber than what RZA does. So like to merge them is like this compromise that doesn't really need to happen. So like just rap on the Scratch beats. Like his beats are slam from the rugged programming. So you just like, it would be interesting to hear RZA in a position where he was strictly focusing on the pen and rapping. And someone else was focusing on the production for a change.
Yeah, which like never happens.
So basically not even having to worry about that thought process, just focusing solely on rhymes.
Yeah.
Okay. I get you.
RZA get his thing off, man. Like,
Arckatron.
Let him put his thing in action,
though.
No, I'm just saying like if this might be the rest of it might be DJ Scratch beats. You know what I mean? This might have just been like something he was
like
putting out.
Like a little teaser.
Like kind of teaser. This might not be the best joint to a best representation of the project.
Yeah, and I don't know. They didn't give a timeline either.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't give a timeline. We don't know who produced what. I didn't check Scratch's feeds and see like if he said anything about it. So I don't know. I'm just speculating. To me, it sounded like Scratch's sound elements, but it didn't sound like Scratch production. It sounded like RZA production, Scratch sounds, which was like, okay.
Well, if you could, please drop that into the chat group later on. Please, I would be interested in hearing it. I'll make sure that I do not cricketize your links. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, you know what I'm saying? I
I
make sure
can.
and
I
I
can.
notice them. So, all right.
I'm gonna drop that
Um,
right after.
one thing I love about this, and we've started to see
And
more of it.
PL will immediately go to war with it as soon as I drop it in.
PL, you know what? I'll stick up for PL. PL might be, he might surprise you. He might be
He
like,
might.
hey, he might be like, hey, this is a
He
hot
might. But
track.
I have no faith in him for this particular song.
Yeah, can you send me that link for this song?
He ain't gonna. Yeah, right now.
Oh,
Can we do it right
man.
now?
It's on, yeah,
Hold on.
nah, it's fine. Just
Yeah, because he got the phone.
Yes,
he
I
can't,
do.
you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
done through osmosis. Just,
He
I
got
mean,
Watch
he got
this.
strong.
Hold up. Look at the modeling. Look at the
All right,
modeling.
so I will say while he's getting his send on and all that, I do enjoy the kind of family affair
Excuse me.
that it seems like is most fostered from what I've seen from the Wu. Every time Wu's been involved with, besides the RZA versus DJ Premier because it was a little bit different, but anything with the Wu, it seems like the versus becomes a family affair, which I enjoy. I do like this.
Update, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt,
right.
but reread a little bit of this post as I was grabbing the link, and yes,
right.
This is DJ Scratch produced.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I want to hear that
So
joint.
here you go, Sean.
So
Arckatron, dropping that in the chat.
Going to drop that in there.
Bing, bow, boom. And I'm back.
So, I like having a show where you have two guys that have been in the game so long, and made like so much music together, and kind of like influence each other in different ways, but then are able to throw love to like DJ Cool. Like when DJ Cool came, I was like, hold up, what? Where'd they find him? Because
Scratch was showing out.
Yo, like I ain't heard from DJ Cool yet, but of course, well, depending on your age, Clear My Throat that's still a jam that you could go back to and people know. Now, I mean, of course,
does your age
you have to
matter? Like it's that much of a jam that I don't know if your age even matters.
Yeah, because
like
I'm pretty sure if you threw it on with a couple of them youngins out there, they might still know. When I say freeze, y'all freeze one time. You know what I'm saying? So that was great. Then we saw K Solo, and I was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
They brought out all these dudes. I was like, hold on, where you been at? I was like, K Solo.
Arcus. Yeah.
Oh man, see, I ain't checking the chat right now. I mean, checking the group
he gave
right
the
now.
Dry, yeah. He gave the yeah.
So so we got DJ Cool, we got K Solo, but then we got Headbanger. So I'm like, oh snap, EPMD in the house, and what was it?
One of my favorites.
So I was like, yo, they got everybody up in here. Then brought Deck through. Brought Kappa through, like you said, had RZA come through. I really like this. I want to say to Timbaland and Swiss Beats. I know you watched the show.
Speaking directly to y'all right now.
Right now, I'm gonna be honest. What you guys started, just playing around, back and forth, has been a great piece of celebration / time capsule-ish / family affair-ish kind of, because we've gone from their beat battles back and forth, being playful. Then you've had some battles where, the energy was kind of like, that might not be the best energy in here. Then you've had some that were straight up great for story time. Like DJ Premier and RZA's had some great storytime elements. There was stuff that I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know this was there. I didn't know you guys knew each other. I didn't know you two, so there's so much rich hip hop history and just appreciation in verses that it really makes me want to go kind of back to the beginning and start watching. Because there's some that I haven't watched. Like there was what was it? The Nelly joint I didn't watch because I was just like,
Wait, Nelly was in Verzuz?
yeah, Nelly and
I didn't know about that.
dang, I can't remember who he went up against, but I was like, it's Nelly. Like, I mean, I love Nelly, but it's Nelly. I was
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know. I didn't know about that
Nelly.
one.
So, but with what this has become, who knows what kind of small tidbits of hip hop history might be in there that might be like worth checking out. And then you got, of course you got
Nelly is a hip hop
Patty.
head. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got Patty. And then you got of course, Brandy and Monica's joint was interesting. Like it was,
I didn't watch that one.
The energy was definitely like, somebody on Twitter said something like, yo, two aunties that don't really get along, but they had to cook out anyway. Because it wasn't that they were mean to each other. It was just, it wasn't all love. It felt kind of like they were just like tolerating the moment.
Anyway.
But then you got stuff like Ghost and Ray.
They probably are.
Oh, go ahead.
I just said they probably were. Just said it.
Oh, word. Then you got stuff like Jill and Erica. But these moments of like hip hop history, these stories, it's just a great way to celebrate these artists. The Earth, Wind, and Fire joint was like,
oh yeah,
the Earth, Wind, and Fire joint. The Isley Brothers is just like really. It was a great mix of music because I can't remember I saw someone on social say like Earth, Wind, and Fire is why your parents met. Isley Brothers are why you're alive. It's like it is after listening to those sets, it's like, well, yeah, you have like this great kind of like just enjoyable atmospheric music where everybody can have a good time at the cookout. And then you got the Isley Brothers where it's like, turn off lights. So
they could have a good time in the bedroom.
Yes. So, I really like what Verzuz has become, yo. Like at first I was kind of like, oh, this is cool. But now this is getting into the area where I'm like, nah, this is something we've been needing and didn't know. And it's necessary. It is very necessary. Deep House Nation comes through and says, this is a little off topic, but says Prince is about the only one with a catalog who could compete with Stevie Wonder. That would have been epic. Man, a Prince and Stevie joint? That'd have been interesting. Because their music is so different, but still, dude, the thing is, you only got 20 songs. So with someone like Prince and Stevie, it's like, what do you pick?
Play the hits. You play the hits.
Well, yeah, you can just like pick you can just play their greatest hit albums.
20 hits.
And just be like, yeah, you can just play their greatest hit albums and let that be it. But yeah, I really like this. I really like this kind of like family affair. Everybody comes on and does their part of the song, and just like this admiration for one another. I think it's something that hip hop needs and something that helps a lot of people that may have forgotten. Like I forgot about K Solo. I'll be honest. Not that K Solo like I got something against him, but you just don't think about him in the normal zeitgeist. And when he came out, I was like, oh snap, because I remember the music video. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Muddy Waters was coming out. I remember this video, and I was like, at that time, it had been a long time since I had seen K Solo. So it's just beautiful, man, to get that, get the headbanger. I thought it was cool. So any other thoughts before I get on something that I think was a little...
I know where you're going with this one. Mike, I know exactly where you're going.
All right, cool. Cool.
We can segue right there. That was my one, like, Yeah, but just go ahead. You do the announcement. You talk
So
about this.
Vulture puts out this article, and says that Method Man and Redman kill our high by FaceTiming with Russell Simmons, and I'll let you guys talk about this first. How do you feel about Russell Simmons being FaceTime and being on there? How y'all feel?
What's the context? I have no idea what.
Oh, snap, I forgot because you haven't seen that part.
The article was essentially. I'm assuming that the article was Russell Simmons is a rapist and they are somehow supporting rape by FaceTiming the guy who changed their lives. Cool, gotcha. I don't care.
Yeah, essentially that's kind of the mode of the article. Hold on, let me pull it up, and I'll give you their words themselves.
I hate articles like this. It's so reductive. It's insane, and I can't stand crap journalism like that.
I felt a little no, because what happened is they first were like talking about Kevin Lyles and
man, they always be clowning somebody too.
like Noriega. They just kept naming all the Def Jam people, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we can't forget about Russell." And then they started going like they were on for like a good 3-4 minutes about Russell and stuff like that. Cool, whatever. And then I'm like going through it and I'm like making sure I'm not missing anything. And I see them face like Russell's face on his phone. I was like, oh wait, let me run this back, this part here, because I need to know what's the context. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt it was a little bit much with the Russell. Like the first time, cool. The FaceTime thing, that's where I'm like, okay, this is a little bit. This is not needed for this show. How about Red and Method Man? Right. But initially, them saying shout him out or whatever, I'm like, okay, whatever, they can shout him out. It's cool. It's cool. So, but this is just a little bit much with the second.
Do you guys feel like the same article would have happened without the FaceTime call? Because I honestly do. Like, I feel like just the mere mention of Russell Simmons.
The FaceTime call, it wasn't, and it was different segments. Like, I literally was like 20 minutes later. Like, so they were like different. So yeah, I can see like them not. If he didn't do that, it wouldn't have been. I don't think so.
Well, I think because at the time they were calling out people that were there. Kevin Lyles was there, and then of course Russell Simmons couldn't be there. So Kevin Lyles FaceTimed Russell so that he could kind of like be there for this moment. And, they were like, hey, Russell, blah, 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 the third. But I'll read the article. So the article comes from Vulture, written by Justin Curto. Hopefully I don't screw up your name. So
Vulture. What is it?
So it says, Method Man and Redman ruined our high by FaceTiming Russell Simmons into the 420 verses. The 420 verses between Method Man and Redman had everything you'd expect. There were hits like How High and This Is For All My Smokers, performed live by the Longtime Friends.
Real quick, how long was the verses, by the way?
How long was the verses?
The actual broadcast?
Like 3 hours?
It was like 3 hours.
3 hours? How long was the phone call? You said about
2 minutes,
4 minutes?
maybe? Like 2-3 minutes, something like that?
Continue. You're right.
Let's see. There were guest appearances by Wu-Tang Clan's RZA, Inspector Deck, Capadonna, Def Squad's Keith Murray. Oh yeah, Keith Murray was there too. EPMD and more. Hey. There were endless shout outs to Staten Island and New Jersey.
Street Life too.
Oh yeah. Then there was the unexpected.
Street Life was there? Hey.
Yeah, Street was there. Yeah. So then there was the unexpected. A FaceTime call from Russell Simmons in the middle of the showdown. No, that wasn't a hallucination. After the pair reminisced on their Def Jam days, they got a FaceTime call from the founder, Russell Simmons, who appeared to be in pajamas and in bed. Simmons has been accused of sexual assault and misconduct by 20 women, including former Def Jam executive Drew Dixon, a main subject of the 2020 documentary On the Record, Talk About Ruining a High. Method Man and Redman did acknowledge the day's guilty verdict of Derek Chauvin, the police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd, an unarmed black man. You get what you put out. He put out there. Redman said he deserved every effing bit.
Yo,
the pair also paid.
If this goes where I think it's about to go.
All right, so the pair also paid tribute to two iconic New York rappers who died earlier this month, DMX and Black Rob. They performed their 1997 collaboration with DMX and LL Cool J, 4321, in honor of DMX. And that's the end of the article. This is the problem I have with this. You really just wanted to dunk on Russell Simmons, like, because the article is about 2 paragraphs. So don't get me wrong. We've covered the On the Record documentary, and I even I referenced this yesterday with Lisa. Yesterday I was like, I believe her, and I believe me. So like I still reference that today. It's hilarious because I'm like, hold up, brother, what?
We devoted a whole show to it. Was it a whole show?
Yeah, we did a whole show. We did a whole show talking about the documentary. Yeah. But the man changed their lives. Matter of fact, they talked about Leor Cohen too. Where's Dame Dash's article about Leor? You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's this
the whole 3-hour celebration was ruined by the 2-minute FaceTime with the guy who
I understand
Def Jam, who was one of the 2 founders of Def Jam, that. We really doing that?
I understand. I get where the writer is coming from. I think it's hyperbolic on the ruined part. I don't think it's article worthy. Well, it's not article worthy because it's not even an article. It's 2 paragraphs.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not even a full article.
This feels real clickbait. Just you doing it. Say you're doing it for the metrics, fam. It's cool. You're doing it for the metrics. You're doing it for the.
Is this called Vulture?
You're doing it for the clicks.
You said Vulture or Culture Vulture?
Vulture. The name of the art. I mean the name of the outlet is Vulture.
Okay.
So I change that name. This is not to invalidate any woman that.
This is what they printing. Do they need to change it?
So this is not to invalidate any woman who has gone through a situation, allegedly or unallegedly or whatever, with Russell Simmons. They're talking specifically about the beginning of their career. They're giving love. The whole show they're talking about giving roses while people are here. They're recounting and giving love to the people that opened the door. Without Russ,
these guys,
we probably would not know about Meth and Red. There's kind of 3 people, and they talked about Russ, Leor, Kevin Liles. Kevin Liles, he got his stuff with him. Leor, he got his stuff with him. Russell Simmons, sure enough, got his stuff with him so much he got to leave the country. But, they're talking about just the start of their career. It's weird. It's kind of like this thing you get in with the Cosby Show, right? So, Amazon Prime has the Cosby Show. And we went back through and watched the whole Cosby Show, the whole way through. And I made a comment to... Wow. After watching,
I'm canceling you, bro.
So. Yeah, you got to cancel me. So, I made a comment to the Cosby Show is probably one of the best casted families in sitcom history, because after watching it the second time, I'm like, Dad, you know what? They really do feel like a family. There's other shows that's but the Cosby Show, they really came through. They really Theo, I believe it. Denise. Sandra, all I believe it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then even when they get older, with what's Sandra's husband? Elvin. He's crazy. Elvin. Elvin and his crazy self. All of them, they're great pieces in this story. But if we were to interview them and they'd be like, "Yo, man, look, I can't believe it. you know, the day I got the call and like Bill Cosby was like, yo man, I like your acting skills. You did that would be like me writing an article, be like, well, you know, Denise was doing. I mean, sorry, not Denise. Lisa Bonet. So Lisa Bonet interview was great, but once she brought up Bill Cosby, you know, what I'm saying, it's kind of
ruined it by mentioning Bill Cosby.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know, man. They were talking about it in context.
So try hard.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with them ruining our high. Because it was actually funny because they started clowning him being in his pajamas and stuff. They clowned him how he be doing yoga and stuff. Like, and if you guys have it or you can get access to it, the How High movie, the DVD has commentary, and it's commentary by Meth and Red, and they're clowning the movie while they're watching it. It's hilarious. Like it makes the movie even funnier. You know what I'm saying? Look, I have it at home, and one day I was like, yo, there's commentary for this? And I was like, oh snap, Meth and Red are doing the commentary? It's mad funny. But what
a great idea to have them Method Man and Redman commentary on their movie. Yes,
it's funny too.
That's all you have to say.
It's mad funny. And then them clowning Kevin Liles and saying that he looked like Russell now and Russell looked younger than you and just talking about the pajamas. It was funny. And I don't know. I understand what he's been accused of and what he may or may not have done, but they're not talking about it, and it was more in the context of like these guys are the ones that kind of shaped our musical history, which is why we're here today. So I mean, I guess I get it, but I think ruined in like a whole article about it is a little, I don't know, it's a little much. But the funny thing is, when he FaceTime, I was like, somebody's gonna talk about this. I knew it. I was like, the second I saw his face, I was like, watch. Somebody gonna say something. And I didn't see nothing on Twitter, but I mean, maybe I just missed it. But the Vulture article, I was like, I knew it.
It's just lame. I don't believe this guy. Like, I don't. When these kinds of
John
articles
Corto
come out,
or whatever.
Yeah, like when these kinds of articles come out, it's like, fam, you need more people. I don't believe that you care this much. I don't believe that you have this hard of a stance on this issue for a second. I totally believe that you wanted that $50 or whatever y'all get paid for the post. I can
whatever
believe
you get
that.
paid per word or whatever.
Per word, whatever you get. I believe you wanted that.
I mean, he should have wrote more words.
Two paragraphs.
Getting paid by word.
Well, they pay per post.
Yeah, like some
people
pay per word, some people pay per post.
Yeah, they pay a little, like, okay, well, we pay this much for these posts or this of this length, and it'd be like 500 words.
And then I'll throw it on Vulture too, because what happens usually is a writer will approach an outlet and be like, hey, I got this angle on this story. So I'm pretty sure, Russell's face popped up and he was like, I got an angle that, nobody else will do or something like that. And I was like, I understand,
these guys need to fill up the site with content during the days. They'll post anything, man.
And I mean, I do understand. But this wasn't the context that they were like framing it in. So it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? My high wasn't ruined, but I actually thought it was funnier because it was talking about him being in pajamas and stuff. But the time differences, so he old, he in bed, you know what I'm saying? So, plus he on the run. I mean, so, you ain't no need to be awake when you on the run. You can get your rest.
He's Nori right now. He's Nori.
He on the run eating.
He on the run eating.
Russell on the run sleeping.
Yo, homie was like, well, it's COVID, so I can't come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's COVID, so you can't come back.
It's like so COVID is why you can't come back?
He is right though. He cannot come back. Well, can he come back? No, they're not letting anybody back.
I think you have to have a vaccination card now if you come in from out of the country, I think. But I just I thought it was a little much. And not that I don't get it, but I think the context is not aligned with the article you trying to write. You know what I'm saying? Or you wrote. You know what I'm saying? But
I have a question.
Wrote.
Would like for example, what you did what Red and Mev did? Like for example, if you worked for Bill Cosby and it was the start of your career, your NERDSoul career, if Bill Cosby had a spin-off from Fat Albert and it was some nerdy thing or whatever, and you were a part of it and it was your first gig, and 20 years, 25 years down the road, you're doing the NERDSoul special, 25-year anniversary, celebrating NERDSoul. Would you mention Bill Cosby? Or in the way that they did, in the context that they did?
Yes. Okay. I would not, y'all wouldn't know who I was without this man. I'd be like, look, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But the guy's he's gone to court. He's in jail. But there's a whole lot of money in my pocket.
Oh, no, sorry.
Other people's pockets.
Sorry. Take Bill Cosby and insert Russell Simmons. Sorry, let me just do that.
Russell Simmons?
Russell Simmons. So he's not in jail. He's in Bali. He's doing yoga. He's the guy who started NERDSoul career.
I still do this. I still give him. I'd be like, yo, man, this dude. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. And then somebody, of course, there'd be someone would be like, well, what do you think about
right about you?
That ruined my whole entire experience of his anniversary.
They'd be like, because I'm sure they would press and be like, well, what do you think about his allegation? I'd be like, yo, them joints sound messed up. And he need to pay for or answer for what he did. But as far as me getting a job, he gave me a job. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, this man put money in my pocket, put me on a platform. You wouldn't have a microphone in my face if it wasn't for him. But he also broke the law, allegedly. And if he did, he got to pay for that too. You know what I'm saying? But just because he got to pay for that doesn't mean he doesn't. You got to get the wins and the losses. You know what I'm saying? And his L is, touching women and doing
potentially a big L.
Potentially.
Allegedly.
L.
I think that's fair. And I think that it's not Redman and Method Man's obligation to judge, jury, and execution this guy that they have a personal relationship with.
Yeah.
So, like, they're torn in a way that the public gets to intentionally distance themselves from, because their relationship with the guy doesn't reflect what he's accused of. And he hasn't been to court for what he's accused of. So it's really just this court of public opinion thing. And it's not unfair for them to not, slam a gavel on this dude. It's not strange for them not to slam a gavel on this dude and be like, yo, I'm not even going, I don't even want to have him. I don't want to have him on here. You know what he did. Like, they're not.
You know what he did.
That.
You said he believes her in himself.
You know what he did. We're talking about an industry that, there are a lot of transgressions in from a lot of people. And it's always going to be a slippery slope, regardless of how you feel about whether or not everyone should be going after these people. It's still going to be a slippery slope. You feel like, hey man, that was the times and now those times are over. And so, like, if you're called to be accountable for the laws that you broke or the transgressions you committed, cool. Or if you're like, yo, well, let's throw everything, let's drag it all out into the open. Yo, it's the same outcome. Like, there's gonna be a lot of people that maybe you expected it from. There's gonna be a lot of people that you like, really him? No, I have all of his music. There's gonna be that smoke. Like, all of those rappers and singers that are your favorites have done things that were questionable. And just because you choose to ignore colloquialism and ignore the zeitgeist of that time and ignore all those things, like, all of us knew that they were wrong, but they were happening. and they were allowed. And some of those things were allowed because it was a different time. And it was a different, and some of them were allowed because it was a different kind of power dynamic that we can't understand as civilians.
Where,
It was like, man, you know,
Thomas
like
D.
sometimes
Thomas
you
D.
gotta-
came in and said, he said, I don't condone his behavior, but he did open doors for me. So like, you know, something to that extent, like, because, you know, for me to,
and you can do both. Like
for
you
me to
cannot
pretend
condone
like
it
he
and
didn't
acknowledge
put
that he
me,
opened the door.
yeah, like for me to pretend like so in this case, Russell Simmons put me on like, I don't know, Def Jam. Well, actually, there was a Def Jam digital. There was a well, no, actually, it's back, ain't it? It's Def. What was it? Def.
I don't know.
What was it?
All Def Digital, you think?
All Def Digital, yeah. Like so say Russell came and was like, "Yo, man, I love what you're doing. It's mad funny. It's mad engaging. I want you on All Def Digital. I want to give you a budget of this and give you a salary of this. You know, X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying?" And I'm like, "Oh, snap, for real?" And I check the contract. Contract's cool. It's no crazy stuff. I sign, and it puts me on, and it takes me to another level. And then someone's like, "Well, you were brought up by Russell. How do you feel about his, you know, do you condone?" I'm like, well, I don't know what happened. I don't condone that. But at the same time, aside from that, he hired me, or he, you know, paid for my product or whatever. He put me in a better position so I can play my family, pay the people that are on my shows, all this stuff. Like, so what my relationship to him is not the right relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's kind of like I didn't do anything with him so I don't even know anything about that. So all I know is Russ came to me and said, "I love your stuff. I want to give you a platform." And I said, "Thanks." You know what I'm saying? So now you're here asking me about something where it's like, I don't know. You know, I wasn't there. I mean, you know, I don't want nobody to do that, but
I
can't
literally
stop
don't
it because
have
it
any
happened in the
knowledge.
90s. So
Yeah, I don't have any knowledge of that, and I wasn't privy to it. I was intentionally made not privy. I just hate the fake outrage, man. I really hate the fake outrage. I don't believe y'all. You need more people.
So
you
it's
don't
like,
care. You're looking the
I
other way all the time about all kinds of things until you touch Twitter. Stop the cap. Stop it.
It's weird. It's like I sort of get it, but I think it's hyperbolic in the way it's presented. Like, because it was like, he ruined our high. And I'm like, then you read the article and it's like one sentence about it. And it's like, so were you really ruined? Did you have any a real emotion about this? Or was this just like, yo, look, Russell Simmons was on there.
They were just trying to play on the whole
post.
420 thing. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing real that they was really ruined. They were just trying to play with the 420 with the title. Yeah. Oh, ruined
and
my high.
Takal got his weed box.
Trying to capitalize on the outrage, man. Like for you to make that the main topic of your article. Yeah. You're trying to capitalize on something where someone was victimized instead of writing about a thing that everyone's celebrating already. That like people will still read the post because everyone was tuned into the red meth thing. And if they weren't, they wanted to be
happy. So
so like you're trying to turn it into a different thing, which leads me to believe that it's about clicks and not about real outrage or some sense of justice. Whatever.
Yeah. So that's I guess that's where I'm at with it. Not as a disrespect to the women involved, but more in saying like, this doesn't really have anything to do with that at this time, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But this does bring me back around to the question we always ask. Since we know kind of like the histories that are going on, the stories that are being told, what artists, big or small, you know what I'm saying? Because I would be interested in seeing, you know, maybe some smaller artists that maybe did pop for a second, but didn't I guess super blow up, be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you have someone like, say, India Ari, like she popped, she didn't get super huge, but maybe that would be a cool mix up with some other artists. You know what I'm saying?
I have the most hip hop one for all of the people.
All right, what's up?
Who want some quote unquote real hip hop? Pharoah Monch versus Black Thought.
Ooh,
that's surprising that you're saying that. I'm very surprised for you to say that.
Thomas D said Bow Wow versus Romeo. You know what?
That's probably in the tuck for real.
You know what? It probably is, because Shad Moss still brings them to the yard. Like, I know we laugh at him, but he be bringing them out. And Romeo, don't sleep. They be coming out for Romeo. Don't think they ain't. You know what I'm saying?
I just listened to Pharoah Monch's album the other day, and I watched the Quality podcast that he was on.
Uh-huh.
And then I was listening to Big Pun today, and Black Thought is on there. And I was like, what? So when you said like smaller artists, like those guys both have technically had smashes. They had hits technically, but they weren't people that, like went on to become, like these really huge. They're big in their own right, but in their space.
Yeah.
But they're not like.
So do you have an example, Mike?
Well, right now I was thinking about someone at the level of like India Ari, but then you also have, how far back do we want to do some? Do we want to do all legends, or do we want to like Anwar was saying, is like people that are still doing it and they're legends, but they're still doing this thing now. Thomas D brought up Rakim and Kool Moe D. That
Why
could be
Kool Moe D? Why Rakim versus Kool Moe D?
Why not Kane?
Or Rakim and Kool Moe D? He's saying. Or is he saying Rakim versus Kool Moe D?
There's a versus there.
Well, I mean, because this is versus. I mean, it doesn't have to be versus, but I mean the show is versus. You know what I'm saying? But Rakim and Kane, you know what I'm saying? You can go in and.
But that's
been talked about
the
for a while.
Matchup right there. Is like
that's been talking about for a while.
You
They were supposed to do it. There's some talks about it.
I'd like to see LL in something, man. Like, cause I know people like, look, Lady Lisa just giggled. But yo, look, LL got hits, all right?
He has a lot of hits.
Lady Lisa just did this. She said, he ain't gonna lick his lips the whole show.
Cannabis.
Yeah, LL versus Cannabis.
LL versus Cannabis.
That's
Revenge versus
Yo, no cap. LL versus Cannabis would be hilarious. It'd be like, yo, I got
It would
hit.
be like Gucci Mane and Jeezy. It would be like, yo,
that
you
Gucci
play
Mane
second round knockout, and it'd be like, I put LL in a box.
See, I didn't watch the Gucci Mane joint, but I've seen a whole bunch of. See, I'm gonna have to watch this.
Amazing.
Yo, but yeah, LL, because LL got hits. Like, yo, look, do not sleep on like Mama Said Knock You Out.
The problem with this versus
the Dope album got joints. Like,
doesn't really have hits. That's the problem. That's the imbalance.
Cannabis ain't got.
He got a lot of features though.
He got some features though.
Cannabis gonna be
on real smash albums.
Cannabis.
He himself.
All right, this is what Cannabis could do. He could have his DJ Clue freestyles, his joint with Common, his joint with Pun.
Oh,
did he do a joint with Pun?
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
I think he did a joint with Pun, did he? Maybe he did.
I feel like yes, but I cannot think
I feel like he did a joint with Pun, but maybe not. And then like maybe any of his other other swaying tech freestyles or something, because he ain't got no songs that are hits. And I know. Look, like, yo, this when
he could play second round knockout in the second round,
bruh. Honestly, LL could go way back and pick out the Jingling Baby remix and be like, "What do you have?"
Y'all are burying the lead. Y'all burying the lead.
What's up?
Cannabis is gonna bring out his rhyme book to rap his verses on the songs because he can't remember the verses.
Yo, on the real, you know we gonna get
Y'all
hit.
want to hear these raps?
I'm cutting this part. I'm cutting this part for its own video
Y'all
because I know
hear
cannabis people hate us already. They hate you
Bring it
and
on.
they hate me. And guess what?
Bring it
if
on.
Cannabis did a versus with LL,
Cannabis
he
people
would be
do not buy
smashed in
my
the first
records.
song.
I don't care what they think.
He's gonna bring out the rhyme book because he just had to get it exactly how he wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Worded perfectly.
Look, LL finishes his song. All we hear is pages flapping. All right, hold on. I got one from *99. I'll be good. It'll be real good. It'll be
You're
real
gonna have
good.
to cut out a lot of this if you go.
Come on, I got one for you.
Oh man.
He should have Clue as his DJ. Like Clue will be his DJ.
Look, can we go on and be honest with all of ourselves right now?
Charlemagne versus academics.
Look, can we go on and be honest with ourselves right now? Cannabis is probably the biggest disappointment in hip hop history.
Wow.
Let's be honest.
In hip hop history,
The promise, all of the energy behind him, I gotta
think about
unsigned
that.
hype stuff and all of the talk on the rap trades and all of the freestyles and all of the energy behind them, bruh. Like,
but hip hop history is like covering a lot of ground. I gotta consider that.
We might have to think about it, but I want to say, because he was like, imagine all, because it was similar to all of the energy LeBron had when he was coming into the league. Imagine if LeBron came into the league and averaged like 3 points a game. That's what Cannabis did. All right, that's what Cannabis did. Cannabis came in and was straight.
I thought he at least was like Allen Houston dropping at least like 15 a night. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Cannabis was not doing.
3.
He wasn't even doing a double single. All right, he wasn't doing a double.
He was like Charlie Ward on the Knicks. Like, he's getting like a couple of assists.
Man, look, he might have got a back double.
So wait, what are we counting from? You're not counting like you're counting basically from the lack of delivery on the buzz.
Yeah, the lack of delivery on the buzz. Like, so there was so much buzz. Everybody was hype about him. Everybody was like, "Oh man, this kid is killing it. He is beyond us. The lyrics are crazy. his tonality, the charisma on the mic, all of that. It's just, he is an animal." And then comes out with an album, and it is horrible. All right. Now I know people will be like, "Well, you gotta blame Wyclef too."
My brother bought it.
It's like, now, yes, Wyclef did. Wyclef did give him whack joints.
Disappointed in him right now. My brother bought it.
Wyclef did, because I bought it. I bought it too, because I was like, it's Cannabis, man. I've listened to all the freestyles.
You got, man. You got.
I listened to all the freestyles.
There's a couple that I got on. I dodged that bullet. I dodged a couple bullets.
It was a bait. It was a hip hop bait and switch.
You know, I got the mobility bullet.
So wait. So was it Wyclef's fault, Mike?
You know what? Okay, let's think about this for a second.
Let's
it's Jerry Wonder's
Cannabis's first album.
Wow.
Cannabis's fault.
Wait. Hit me with that again.
Is Cannabis's
fault because it's Cannabis' first record?
No, I'm saying, is it his fault because it's his album?
It's hard for me to say yes to that question.
I'd say yes, because he had the opportunity or the ability to decide who he wanted to sign with. And he signed with Wyclef. He should have known.
That's not a bad prospect at that time. He's coming off of the
Fugees, man.
You're right. You know what?
Carnival.
Carnival is a hot album.
Carnival has fire beats.
I feel like Wyclef put all of his greatness into the score and Carnival and then just forgot everything. And I know y'all gonna be like, "What about Maria? What about shut up. I ain't trying to hear it. All right?
I wasn't gonna say it. Maybe they would. I was not gonna say that at all.
I mean, that's more Carlos Santana than Wyclef. I mean, what he do on it?
Man, Thomas D said is so. I mean, DeAndre said so. Cannabis is Lonzo disappointment levels. Oh, that's cold. Lonzo, you know what? Probably.
I'm not a sports dude, but I know that reference.
Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball. Because let's think, there's only one good baller, all right? And he's in Charlotte. That's it. Everybody else, straight whack. All right? Bust.
You said the
all the
homie
talking
is
your
cannot
daddy
ball.
did. Now, at the same time, it's not their fault. Their dad is the one that built them up. Because think about it. If they came in the league and their dad wasn't like, I would have beat Jordan when he was in his prime. Like, if he wasn't doing that, they would have came in the league. They would have came in the league and they would have like been like middling players. And nobody would have said nothing. Nobody would have said nothing. But you got your daddy talking to the ownership and stuff.
They hate the black man for having confidence.
So you know what? It's the daddy that messed that up. The daddy messed that up. But
they hated it. They hate it when Ye had confidence.
They hate it. So anyway, guys, we're past time. We're over time. But I'll say this: when we were talking about talking about cannabis before. If
what about the second album?
If Cannabis's first album had the same producers as Nas's first album, we'd be having a different discussion right now. But he had Wyclef.
I don't know.
If you say if he had Premier, Pete Rock, Large Professor,
it would be a different conversation. But I don't know if we'd be saying it was a classic.
I don't think we'd be saying it's a classic, but it wouldn't be an album full of just doo-doo nuggets. All right? Like, the whole album is whack. There's nothing. Second Round Knockout, which technically shouldn't be on the album because it was, but Second Round Knockout is the only song that's worth listening to. Why shouldn't it be on the album? Because I see that as more of a diss record, and diss records for me shouldn't be on albums. They should be their own thing outside. Show me your artistry and keep your disses separate. Your diss should be
my artistry is I put my artistry into this diss about you.
So you saying Takeover shouldn't be on Jay-Z's Blueprint? Is that what you're saying?
That's what you're saying? You're saying Ether shouldn't be on Stillmatic?
No, I don't think it should. I think it should have
still. You feel like Hit 'Em Up shouldn't be on?
Man, no, not at all. Tupac was
Mama
way too extra at that time. He was
Mama
way
said
too
knock
extra.
you out.
Mom said knock you out. 10% this.
Even though I love that album, I would have preferred if he kept that as a single. I don't know. I'm one of those people that like this is their own separate thing.
So you're one of those people who would like to remove Drop a Gem on them from Hell on Earth. Okay.
Even though I love Drop a Gem on them. But I think like this should be their own contained thing. Like this is my diss record and this is my album. You know.
So no Vaseline, no Vaseline for you.
Yo, man, but that song is dope though. But no, it should be on its own. Own your own cassette single.
Wait, it wasn't Lil Kim coming at somebody on Quiet Storm remix? Was she coming at Foxy?
Oh.
She was.
So no Quiet Storm remix?
Well, now if that's a remix, they can't control Kim. You know what I'm saying? They can't.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know that I would say the whole verse, but Foxy definitely was going at Kim really hard on CNN album.
The Bang Bang joint.
Bang Bang.
So that could have been dope together.
Be on the
like
album.
They spent so much time hating each other.
Alf, right?
Alchemist. The Alchemist.
ALC.
Bang Bang.
Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? like, you know. So
that beat is gutter.
That beat is gutter.
So that's where we at, y'all. That's where we at with Cannabis. Cannabis album was whack.
He needed to beat like that. Cannabis needed to beat like that. That was more. That was dope.
Yo, I'm telling you, if Cannabis had like at the time he came out.
Bang.
All right, imagine this. At the time Cannabis came out, the Beat Miners was still dope. Alchemist was just coming up in the game.
Thanks.
You had Premier, Pete Rock. Like, if I could have
Premier, who he did technically get in with and turned it down because he didn't like Premier's non-punctuality, as I understand.
Wow.
No, that and actually, I think I might be partially correct on that. He didn't like the beat. He thought it's said that
Really?
I heard someone that he felt like Premier was trying to play him with the whole.
Oh, I forgot.
Being
Cannabis
late,
was
and then the
also
beat
hyper
actually-
arrogant. I forgot about that. Cannabis was also hyper arrogant at the time. Forgot
For
about
those
that.
that don't know, that beat went on to be D'Angelo Devil's Pie. He turned down Devil's Pie, which I can't really see him on.
But it's still 14 times better than anything that was on the first album.
No, it is. Like that beat is crazy. But I think I understand what Primo was going for. I don't know that I agree that it was the right, but I think
that's not the right.
No, actually, I'll push back on this. As many words as Cannabis tries to push into a line, that beat being the tempo it is, gives Cannabis the air to
that's what I was gonna say. I think that what he was trying to do was like give him something like simple, like here's like some ill, like something that's ill.
And how you gonna turn that down with that second round knockout beat? If you don't get out of it, Cannabis is full of it and full of himself. Man, at least at that time.
Yeah, I think he was trying to like strip it down and like give you space to just like rhyme real crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
That second round knockout beat, like people tried to act like that beat was tough. That beat is trash.
That beat is nothing is going.
That eliminate the basura. That beat is garbage.
That beat is like eating like iceberg lettuce. You know what I mean? Compared to like romaine red lettuce. You know what I mean?
Withered iceberg lettuce. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, man. Hey, Cannabis, hate to do it to you again, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can make this a yearly thing and just talk about how you could have been dope and you wasn't dope. You know what I'm saying? You know, once a year we gotta throw them Shinobi darts
over like all crazy beats on the mixtapes. Everything is crazy.
And see, we all thought his album was going to be full of beats similar to the joints he'd been freestyling on. And then you get the album and you're like, what is this trash?
And you get Niggonometry.
Yeah. You get Channel Zero. Bruh.
Channel Zero.
Man, if you don't get that trash out my face, he was hyper arrogant at the time. He flew too close to the sun.
I just watched that video. Someone brought that video up. The one, my man brought the video up where it's him, DMX, John Forte, Mos Def, Big Pun.
Oh yeah.
DMX.
Oh, yeah.
And they're sitting around the table having a little cipher, and Cannabis is like, yo, like no disrespect, but I feel like I earned the right to anchor. I feel like I earned the right to go last. He's doing all of that, but then like he wanted to go last so he could get off the second round knockout raps.
Yeah,
I
remember that, and it's funny. Everybody at that table,
Pun is in this cipher with you, man. Like
everybody in that table has had an album that's at least twice as good as yours. At least, like even the albums that like Moses put out, where I'm like, man, I don't know. There's only like half of this I rock with. I still want to listen to that more than I want to listen to his first or second joint. And I ain't even talking about that Poet Laureate mess that people tried to share to me. Like, look, man,
what?
Get that crap out of here.
You don't remember that Poet Laureate Infinite?
Yeah, Poet Laureate Infinite. It's like a long rap. It's a long walk to nowhere.
What was it? Was that like 1,000 bars?
Man,
it was like an insane amount of bars, and it was like a website, and you could like switch it around and like change the beat around and make your own edit of it.
This ain't.
It was like really wild.
Are you trying to win some kind of like Guinness Book of World Record stuff? Like, dude, make a song I like. Make a song I can play in the car.
That song might contain more bars than I've ever written.
Like, look, this. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Every one of that out. DMX, better than you. All of his albums, better than your albums. John Forte, hold up. Did he have an album?
I don't think he had an album.
I don't think he had an album. Yeah. All right, so we'll take back John Forte.
Did.
Oh, he did? Okay.
He had one, yeah.
I haven't heard it, and I know it's better than yours. Okay, Most Def, better than your album.
John Forte he is in that. He still put music out.
Oh, and Pun,
as y'all know,
better than your album.
As y'all know, he did the jail time. John Forte is nasty, man. Like that dude gets crazy.
Man. Oops, we nuts, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm just look. Anyway, we out of here. That's enough cannabis slander for this year. We'll circle back in 2022. Down at the bottom square, big shouts. Anwar, Highsign, say what's up.
Yeah, man. Tune into Channel Zero, man. Check out Fleece on your Apple Music, your Spotify's. You know, pick that up. It's not a very large hit to your wallet, and you're guaranteed to enjoy it many times again and again. Share that. Fleece by Anwar Highsign.
Yeah.
Right here on Beats, Vibes, and Life.
Links
Punk.
down below. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me throw that link in the chat. Let me find the link real quick, and I got you.
Bam!
You know what I'm saying?
go.
Where's that link? Here you go. All right, here we go.
I'll hit you with the link right now.
Hitting y'all with the
Go
link
bang,
right now.
bang.
Y'all ain't even got to go down below. There go the link. Click that link and get you some fleece.
Bang.
You know what I'm saying? Get a fleece for the winter
man.
and a
Check
fleece
that-
for the
check
summer.
that out
No,
for
just
me,
playing.
man. Share that, make a comment, you know, share, give it a rating,
Yeah,
make a
you know what I'm
comment,
saying?
share it with somebody, man. You know,
You ain't doing nothing.
let's get
You're
some
sitting
good
on the
music. Let's
couch.
get some good music in the atmosphere, man. We
Thank
got
you.
it, man.
Look, you can either listen to that or you can listen to some whack joints from Cannabis' first album. Oh, and remember
Listen,
when he was like,
be the
"No,
change
my
that
second
you wanna
album,
see."
I ain't with Wyclef no more. My second album gonna be crazy, right?" And what happened?
Wyclef spoiled it.
It's
That
Wyclef's
first
fault.
album.
No, it's your fault. Anyway, right
Hey,
over
listen,
here.
Fleece is out right now. Be the change you want to see. I figured, hey, if I'm not satisfied, I'll make the music that I would like to hear. And I think you guys would like to hear it as well. Check it out.
Word up. And of course, ARC. Father Part 3. Right over here, Arckatron. Say what's up.
Sip lime Bacardi. You know, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Arcatron, that's ARCKATRON, to get Space Bridge tapes, to get Subtle Business tapes, to get apparel, to get your knowledge right in your brain. You know what I mean? No,
Yep.
but you can find all that stuff.
You don't even gotta
Arcatron.com.
go to summer school. Just get the Arckatron 2 cassettes.
Yep.
You get all the education.
Education you need. Just tell me.
It's all the education you need, yeah? And his link is in the chat right now. Click that link, like it, share it, comment it, buy it, all that stuff. You ain't doing nothing. You're sitting on the couch. You ain't buying music. You need to go buy music. You know what I'm saying? You gonna do? You gotta go to school. Where did they find that brother? Where did they find that brother from? I feel like he was working at CarMax or something. Was like, yo, man, want to be in a commercial? Like, where did they find that brother?
No, and I got a joint on the Arcatron project, and it's banging.
Yep. So don't sleep.
Listen to the Arcatron album because it's bang.
All right, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you see, and hit that thumbs down if you don't. And guess what? If you hit that thumbs down, Cannabis gonna show up to your house, and he ain't gonna do nothing mean to you. He just gonna stop rapping, and he ain't gonna stop. All right, he's not
gonna rap the entire Poet Laureate Infinity.
Yeah, right up in your house, and you're gonna be like, why won't he leave? And he's not gonna particularly be mean. He'll just be rapping, and then you'll be like, it'll be like 5 minutes later, and you'll be like, oh no, he's still rapping. I just stopped paying attention. Like this is so. Anyway, of course, podcast if you want to listen. Spotify for that music, because your boy got them
Cannabis. You
don't
don't let
sleep.
that man talk about you like that, man. You need the Poet Laureate BVL.
Honestly, don't sleep. All right, hey, I got rhymes. Like, hey, I'm just saying. I'm
NERDSoul versus Cannabis versus.
Look, actually, I'd say this. I got more music that is listenable than Cannabis does. That's a shame. That's a shame.
There's the verses.
That's a shame.
NERDSoul versus Cannabis.
That's a shame.
On that note.
On that note.
For those that don't know.
For those that are like, Cannabis is the best in the world and you suck just because you said that he wasn't. So, of course. Guys,
the Cannabis hive is on your head, man.
They're going to hate me. Because I'm going to put this segment up by itself. But holler at me. I'm going to holler at you down in them comments. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you see. Hit that thumbs down if you don't, of course. And we're going to leave y'all with Parker Lewis and Arckatron. We got a new song coming. He got the photo. Yep.
Got the photo.
Come on. You know, I know you know. All right. Who in there? Who in there? Go and say it. Who in there? Who? Parker Lewis.
Parker Lewis.
Uh-huh. Who else?
Anwar.
All right. Who else?
Parker Lewis.
Well, Parker Lewis, yeah, he was already there. All right. Who else? Arcatron.
Arcatron.
Yeah. Arcatron, he up in there. And you, NERDSoul, like, say hey.
Hey.
All right. So from us to you, we're saying peace, give him a woo. Give him a woo.
The power.
Yeah, show him the power of the woo. That's right. Give him the power.
Power to the woo.
Yeah, yo, we out.
That's
Peace.
that wisdom.
That wisdom, son. The woo.
I'm the man, yes, sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think. Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from Hunger Games.